The forgotten stories of India's Muslim heritage. India is a land of diverse cultures, religions, and histories. Among its countless stories, the contributions and heritage of Indian Muslims often remain overlooked or forgotten. From majestic mosques hidden in remote villages to ancient palaces with incredible architecture and legends that have survived centuries, Indian Muslim heritage is rich and deeply intertwined with the country's history. Yet many of these stories are unknown to the wider public. They have been lost in time, overshadowed by more popular narratives, or forgotten in local folklore. In this documentary, we explore the forgotten stories of India's Muslim heritage. We will travel through the hidden mosques, uncover the secrets of palaces, and recount the legends that have survived through generations. This is a story of culture, history, and mystery, a journey into the forgotten corners of India. Hidden mosques of India. India is home to thousands of mosques, many of which are known and visited by locals and tourists alike. But scattered across the country are hidden mosques, centuries-old structures tucked away in remote villages, forests, or even inside bustling cities, unnoticed by most people. These mosques are more than places of worship. They are architectural marvels, preserving the artistry and design of eras long past. Some feature intricate calligraphy, hand-carved stonework, and delicate arches that reflect the rich Islamic architectural tradition. Others are simple structures, built with local materials, yet carrying centuries of history in every stone. One example is a mosque hidden deep in the forests of Kerala. Built over 400 years ago, it survived floods, colonial rule, and natural decay. Villagers recount legends of the mosque being a center of learning, where scholars studied Islamic teachings alongside local knowledge of medicine, agriculture, and astronomy. In northern India, there are mosques built atop hills or beside rivers that were once major centers of trade. Merchants and travelers would stop to pray, leaving inscriptions and donations that still survive today. These mosques tell the story of communities that flourished in harmony, blending Islamic culture with local traditions. Many of these hidden mosques face challenges. Modern development, neglect, and urban expansion threaten their preservation. Yet locals continue to protect them, understanding the importance of their heritage. These mosques are more than buildings. They are living monuments to the faith, resilience, and artistry of Indian Muslims. By exploring these hidden mosques, we uncover a part of India's history that is rarely told, a story of devotion, community, and the enduring legacy of a culture that has shaped the country in profound ways. Forgotten palaces of India's Muslim kings. India's history is dotted with magnificent palaces built by Muslim rulers, symbols of power, wealth, and architectural brilliance. While many famous palaces like those in Jaipur or Hyderabad are well known, countless others remain hidden, forgotten by time, and overlooked in history books. These forgotten palaces, often in remote villages or small towns, were once centers of governance, culture, and art. Constructed with exquisite craftsmanship, they featured ornate courtyards, intricately carved arches, and delicate stonework that showcased the skills of artisans from centuries past. Some palaces even had secret tunnels and hidden chambers, used by kings and their guards for protection or escape during times of conflict. One such palace, nestled in the hills of Madhya Pradesh, remained abandoned for decades. Local legends say that it was built by a sultan who ruled the region with wisdom and justice. The palace walls are adorned with faded murals depicting scenes from royal life, celebrations, battles, and spiritual gatherings. Despite its state of decay, the palace continues to tell the story of a bygone era. In other regions, palaces were centers of learning and culture, where poets, scholars, and musicians gathered under the patronage of kings. These forgotten structures hold more than bricks and mortar. They contain the history of communities that thrived under Muslim rule, blending traditions from across India and the Islamic world. Many of these palaces have been abandoned or encroached upon, their stories fading as modern life takes over. Yet, through exploration and documentation, we can preserve their memory and understand the richness of India's Muslim heritage. Each palace, hidden from the tourist map, is a window into the past, a testament to the lives, creativity, and legacy of India's Muslim rulers. Exploring these palaces allows us to see not just the grandeur of their architecture, but also the human stories behind them. The rulers, the families, the artists, and the communities who once called these magnificent structures home. Legends and folk tales of Indian Muslims. Alongside hidden mosques and forgotten palaces, Indian Muslim culture is rich with legends, folk tales, and oral histories passed down through generations. These stories capture the imagination, preserve moral lessons, and reflect the values and experiences of communities over centuries. In villages across Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Bengal, elders tell tales of saints and Sufi mystics who performed miracles, healing the sick, protecting communities, and offering guidance to those in need. Some stories recount encounters with jinns, supernatural beings believed to inhabit forests, rivers, and abandoned places. These legends, while mysterious, form an integral part of the cultural fabric. One famous folktale is that of a wandering Sufi saint who once visited a small village in Gujarat. It is said that his blessings saved the villagers from a severe drought, leaving behind a shrine that is still revered today. The story, passed down orally, continues to inspire devotion and awe, keeping the memory of the saint alive centuries later. In Bengal and Kerala, local folktales mix Islamic teachings with regional culture. Stories of heroic figures, wise leaders, and pious merchants reflect a blend of faith, morality, and everyday life. Children hear these tales at home or in community gatherings, learning about courage, compassion, and justice through the lens of history and imagination. Some legends also carry warnings, tales of cursed places, treacherous paths, or divine justice. These stories, often set near mosques, tombs, or historical sites, connect the spiritual and physical worlds, reminding listeners of the unseen forces believed to shape human life. Documenting these legends is crucial as modern life increasingly distances younger generations from traditional storytelling. Each story preserves history, values, and the lived experiences of Indian Muslim communities, offering insight into a culture that is both spiritual and deeply human. By exploring these legends and folk tales, we uncover the rich tapestry of India's Muslim heritage, a heritage that is vibrant, mysterious, and often overlooked. These stories remind us that history is not only recorded in stone and paper, but also carried in the voices and memories of those who lived it. The role of Indian Muslims in history. The history of India is incomplete without acknowledging the contributions of Muslim communities. From governance and architecture to trade, education, and culture, Indian Muslims have played a pivotal role in shaping the country over centuries. During the Delhi Sultanate and Mughal Empire, Muslim rulers transformed India's landscape through monumental architecture. Cities were redesigned, roads constructed, and public spaces developed. Mosques, forts, and gardens from this era still stand today, reflecting a blend of Persian, Central Asian, and Indian styles. These structures are not just artistic marvels. They were centers of administration, community gathering, and cultural exchange. Beyond architecture, Indian Muslims contributed significantly to education and learning. Madrasas and institutions of higher learning were established across the subcontinent, promoting literacy, religious scholarship, and knowledge of science and mathematics. Scholars from these institutions engaged in astronomy, medicine, and literature, producing works that influenced generations. In trade and commerce, Muslim merchants connected India to the broader Islamic world. Ports in Gujarat, Kerala, and Bengal facilitated the exchange of spices, textiles, and ideas. These networks helped create economic prosperity and cultural diffusion, leaving a lasting legacy in both urban and rural India. Muslims also played a crucial role in literature, music, and art. From Persian poetry and Urdu ghazals to Qawwali and regional folk music, Their contributions enriched India's cultural diversity. Calligraphy, miniature painting, and textile arts became hallmarks of Indian Muslim creativity, blending local traditions with Islamic motifs to produce works admired even today. Moreover, Indian Muslims were active participants in social and political movements. They contributed to the freedom struggle, engaged in debates on education and governance, and helped shape modern India's pluralistic society. Their efforts often balanced tradition with reform, faith with progress, leaving an enduring impact on the nation. However, much of this history remains underrepresented. Many sites, stories, and achievements are forgotten or overshadowed by more widely known narratives. By exploring the role of Indian Muslims in history, we gain a fuller understanding of India's development, its cultural richness, and the resilience of communities that shape the nation in multiple ways. This chapter highlights not only the achievements, but also the struggles, adaptations, and perseverance of Indian Muslims. From ruling empires to preserving culture in small villages, their history is a testament to human creativity, faith, and endurance. By recognizing and documenting these contributions, we preserve a legacy that is essential to understanding India, a history that is intricate, diverse, and deeply intertwined with the lives of millions. Cultural traditions and festivals of Indian Muslims. Indian Muslim communities are not only defined by history and architecture, but also by vibrant cultural traditions and festivals that continue to shape everyday life. These customs reflect centuries of adaptation, creativity, and blending of Islamic and regional Indian influences. Religious festivals. The most widely celebrated festivals are Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. Eid al-Fitr marks the end of Ramadan, the month of fasting, while Eid al-Adha commemorates the willingness of Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice his son in obedience to God. In towns and cities across India, communities gather in mosques, open fields, or community centers to pray, share meals, and exchange greetings. The celebrations are also highly regional. In Hyderabad, for example, the Eid festivities are famous for rich biryanis and sweet delicacies. In Lucknow, traditional attire and handcrafted gifts play a significant role in the celebration. Across India, the rituals vary, but the essence of family, community, and devotion remains the same. Cultural traditions. Beyond religious festivals, Indian Muslims observe numerous cultural practices passed down through generations. Weddings, for instance, are elaborate affairs combining Islamic rituals with local customs. Ceremonies such as the Nikah and Mehendi are complemented by traditional music, dance, and food, creating a unique blend of spirituality and celebration. Other practices, such as Sufi gatherings, also hold cultural and spiritual significance. Qawwali performances at dargahs, shrines of saints, are not only religious events, but also cultural experiences, attracting people from diverse backgrounds. These gatherings preserve oral traditions, poetry, and musical heritage, keeping centuries-old stories alive. Community traditions. In smaller towns and villages, daily practices and communal life reflect centuries-old traditions. From charity and communal meals to local craftsmanship and storytelling, Indian Muslims maintain a strong sense of community and social responsibility. These practices strengthen bonds, provide support networks, and preserve cultural identity in a rapidly changing world. Regional variations. The diversity within India means that Muslim traditions differ significantly from one region to another. In Kerala, the Mappila community preserves a unique blend of Arabic, Malayalam, and Indian customs. In West Bengal and Assam, local festivals incorporate traditional Bengali music and cuisine. Even within northern India, customs vary between states, reflecting local history, climate, and inter-community interactions. Modern adaptations. While traditions are preserved, modern life has influenced how festivals and customs are observed. Urbanization, digital media, and migration have introduced new ways of celebrating, connecting, and sharing culture. Yet, even with these changes, the core values of devotion, community, and heritage remain intact. By exploring these cultural traditions and festivals, we gain insight into the living heritage of Indian Muslims, a heritage that continues to shape identity, community, and daily life. These traditions are not just celebrations. They are expressions of history, resilience, and the enduring spirit of a community that has contributed profoundly to India's social and cultural landscape. Preserving the heritage of Indian Muslims. The rich heritage of Indian Muslims, from hidden mosques and forgotten palaces to legends, cultural traditions, and festivals, faces significant challenges in the modern era. Preservation has become not just a task for historians, but a responsibility for communities, governments, and cultural institutions. Threats to heritage. Many historical sites are at risk due to urban development, neglect, and environmental factors. Remote mosques and palaces, once thriving centers of community life, are often left abandoned. Weather, erosion, and human encroachment have damaged structures beyond recognition in some regions. Without intervention, these sites risk disappearing entirely, along with the stories and traditions they represent. Cultural practices are also under threat. Younger generations, influenced by modern lifestyles and technology, are less engaged with oral storytelling, traditional music, and local customs. Some festivals and rituals are observed with less intensity or even forgotten, making it difficult to maintain continuity across generations. Efforts in preservation. Despite these challenges, many efforts are underway to protect and preserve Indian Muslim heritage. Local communities take pride in restoring mosques and palaces, often relying on volunteer initiatives and donations. Historical societies and NGOs document legends, traditions, and cultural practices, ensuring that stories are recorded for future generations. Government initiatives also play a role. Archaeological surveys, heritage site protections, and cultural grants help maintain significant historical structures. Universities and research institutes study the history and contributions of Indian Muslims, highlighting their importance in education, literature, and social development. Role of education and awareness. Preserving heritage is not only about buildings and objects, it is about passing knowledge and traditions. Schools, cultural programs, and media initiatives educate the public about India's Muslim heritage. Documentaries, books, and online platforms allow people from all backgrounds to access these stories, fostering appreciation and understanding. Community participation. Local communities remain the most vital force in preserving heritage. Villagers guarding hidden mosques, families maintaining dargahs, and artisans keeping traditional crafts alive ensure that the legacy continues in daily life. Their efforts highlight a living connection between past and present, ensuring that history is not confined to archives, but continues to shape identity and culture. The importance of preservation. Preserving this heritage is crucial for multiple reasons. It maintains a connection to history, educates future generations, and promotes cultural diversity. It also fosters unity, reminding people of the contributions of Indian Muslims to the nation's development, arts, and society. Through preservation, the forgotten stories, traditions, and sites can continue to inspire, educate, and amaze. They allow us to appreciate the depth and richness of India's cultural mosaic and to honor the enduring legacy of a community whose history is intertwined with the story of the nation itself. By documenting and protecting these treasures, we ensure that Indian Muslim heritage is not lost, that it remains a source of pride, learning, and inspiration for generations to come. Preserving the forgotten heritage. India's Muslim heritage is a treasure trove of history, culture, and human creativity. From hidden mosques and forgotten palaces to legends, festivals, and living traditions, it reflects centuries of faith, artistry, and resilience. Yet much of this heritage remains unseen, unknown, or at risk of being lost. Modern life, urbanization, and neglect threaten not only the physical structures, but also the cultural practices and stories that give them meaning. Preservation is essential, not only for the sake of history, but for understanding the depth and diversity of India's cultural landscape. By protecting mosques, restoring palaces, documenting legends, and celebrating traditions, communities and individuals ensure that this heritage continues to inspire and educate. The story of Indian Muslims is not confined to the past. It lives in the festivals celebrated today, in the music, art, and architecture that surround us, and in the stories passed down through generations. By exploring, documenting, and preserving these treasures, we honor a culture that has profoundly shaped India. In the end, the forgotten stories of India's Muslim heritage remind us of the richness of human history, the resilience of communities, and the enduring power of culture. They are a legacy worth protecting, a living testament to faith, creativity, and the passage of time.